we have our review of Stomped issue number 3. Uh,
We were supposed to do this way back before we did issue one, we did issue two. We were even talking to Ross about coming on the show to promote issue four, but then everything happened and we weren't doing shows anymore at the time and we couldn't have him on, unfortunately. But when he comes back for issue five, or maybe the trade paperback collection,
trade paper,
we'll
yeah,
definitely talk to him.
yeah, trade paperback collection,
We
or
absolutely want to talk to him.
also teasing the accordion team up series is
Yes.
also. I think that's going to supposedly out next year or late
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
That might be the
Hopefully.
project for that.
Yeah, I mean, issue four is coming like pretty soon. I
Yeah, it
think
should be out soon.
yeah, I think we should be getting that delivered like in the next few weeks, honestly, next month or so. I would say by the end of March
Yeah, no,
we might have it. He sounded like he just got the first
yeah, the trial print.
trial print, so soon.
Yeah, soonish.
Figure Aprilish.
Yeah, I think that
I'm
should
not
be.
giving out deadlines for his
Yeah, for his
stuff.
project. We're just eager
We're
fans.
speculating.
We're just fans that want the next issue because this is an awesome series. It's probably one of those like I would say it's a cornerstone of like the indie kaiju market right
Oh,
now. It's so good. And
yeah.
the way it's kind of like adapted over like the last couple issues, like you can see it like there's been some pivots creatively, but not in a bad way. Like it's
Yeah.
just been like, oh, like we didn't expect the franchise to go this way. Like
Yeah.
it just got super popular.
Yeah. I mean, I got in on it with issue three is like when I joined up with the Kickstarter. So issue one and two were out already, and when I started reading issue one, I was like, oh my god, this is good. And then I read issue two the next day, three the next day. I was like, wow. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
got the digital
got
pack.
super hooked, and then I went and I bought the Kim Corrigan series still on digital.
Yeah, yeah, I got the digital pack at first because I was like, I don't want to commit to a physical series, and
Yeah.
I'm low on space. And then when the fourth one came out, I was like, all right, I'm getting all three. I'm getting all four issues physical.
No. Yeah. No.
Um,
You got to do it. It's so good.
yeah, and
And the work that goes into the series has been absolutely excellent.
yeah. So far, I've only seen these comics digitally, but I'm like really interested because even like the shot I used of this one, like I'm like zooming in on like the art and stuff like that. It's just like so good. Uh,
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
yeah. So let's kick off. This was kind of like a kind of it wasn't a smaller issues, but they were very quick reads, and the last story was very short. It was kind of like a funny PSA.
Yeah, it's an anthology series is how it started off, and after the second issue had such big success, they just Ross decided we're going to continue this thing and then we're going to see what we could do with it and how far we'll take it. So now it's got a lot of interconnected characters and everything. Um, and this one introduces like two new characters that are going to be part of this team that we think is coming. So yeah, let's dive into the first story, which is actually one of my favorite stories from this whole series.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. So it's called Eye for an Eye, and it's essentially about there's this kaiju that's going to be destroyed because it's leaving the city that's been rampaging in. So if these scientists want to do research on it, they only have 1 hour left.
And they're going to nuke the thing.
Yeah, they're gonna nuke it, so there's gonna be nothing left. So it kind of starts off where it's just like, hey, they're all different scientists from different places, but they're all on the same not helicopter, airplane together.
Airplane.
And as you've very creatively put in our notes, they have an awesome Power Rangers reference in it because they all skydive out, just like in the
And
Power
on
Rangers
top
movie.
of that, the pilot even calls them like science. They're like, "Oh, you're a special science rangers or something like that," and they're all skydiving out like the Power Rangers movie. And every single one of them is a different Power Ranger color skydiving. And they have wingsuits, pink, yellow, red, black, green, purple, and blue.
Yeah. So Power Rangers, essentially.
So you know what? The purple, technically, in the Power Ranger comic books or somewhere, Bulk, wasn't he a Purple
Yeah,
Ranger?
Bulk was like the Purple
So
Ranger.
Bulk was in the intro to the Power Rangers movie. So
There are
technically,
other Purple
the
Rangers in other
yeah.
series, but I know Bulk was like the Purple Ranger.
So technically, boom. That's like one of my favorite things about the story is that opening Power Rangers, and it's one of the coolest things about the Power Ranger movie too. Is that opening? It's one of the best
Yes,
openings to any movie, actually.
it's really awesome. And
Yeah.
the funny thing about that movie is just like the fact that we all just took for granted like what Angel Grove is. It's just like when you think of like the Power Rangers series, it's a park. Angel Grove is a park with a school, a major city, and now places where you can skydive, and it's got a giant lakeside, like oceanside fireworks display and baseball park, and like, like it doesn't make any sense.
It's a metropolis.
It is, but
Back to the story.
back to the story. So we're introduced to the main character of the story. And that's Dr. Sophia Zalvalez. Very bad with names. Zalvalez. I'm very, very bad with names. And she has a like one of those. I don't know exactly what it's called. It's a prosthetic, but it's like it's not a hook. But it's like a clamp, and you get a kind of a shot of her getting her arm bit off by a hippo.
Yeah, she's a veterinarian, and she had an intern that day. They tripped and they were blindsided by the hippo, and she lost an arm.
Yeah. So you know, she's like, you know, like very good spirits, very good energy from her. She's like bubbly, kind of talking with people. And then we have Dr. Karloff, which is not their real name. And they're wearing the green suit because they're the evil ranger.
Exactly.
So, what's kind of cool about this though is that like the other characters, you kind of get invested into like, oh, like you know these are all like really cool doctors. They have nice personality, and it immediately goes to like Red Wedding
Oh my god,
situation.
yeah. It's just a mess. So they're all skydiving out of it. Right off the bat, the kaiju looks up and sees the black suited scientist and just like frog tongues him, sucks him and eat him instantly. And they're like, oh no, that's not good. And then they're just like wingsuiting down. They don't even actually have parachutes, I believe. And they're like, yeah, the wingsuits help slow us down, but like we're basically flying into a cement wall by flying into this thing. So all of them have like really messy landings. So like, the pink lands gets eaten by a parasite that's on the kaiju, and then the red trips, but then the green steals his sample that he had managed to pick up, and he's like stuck hanging off. He's like, "Pull me up," and the green just cuts his rope and just lets him fall. And yeah, so right off the bat, it's a mess. And Sophia sees all this going down, so she's like, I'm just gonna go to the ground and get to safety. She gets to the ground and she sees, she finds the pink. He survived, even though he got his leg bit off by the parasite. She's like, let me go find you a stick that you can walk on. And she's like, it does not look good for him though. So she goes, looks for the stick, comes back. He's dead. He bled out. He lost a leg. And she goes wandering off again, and she sees Dr. Karloff, and she off the Red Ranger, the Red Scientist, and she also found the Yellow Scientist shot in the head. So Dr. Karloff's got some sketchy stuff going on. She's taking the samples for herself, and she's on the phone with somebody saying, "I got the samples. I'll meet you at the extraction point." So she's totally not for the team at all.
No. So we know already set up in this series that black market kaiju tissue samples are really sought after because the pharmaceutical companies use them, and I guess you know they're just like you know like anything, there's the black market for it. So that's what she's probably doing, whether it's like illegal research or something like that. And even though that's kind of like the end of the story,
like yeah, Sophia runs into who she ended up running into. She survives with
yeah, she survives.
yeah. Who did she run into?
Um,
The blue?
I don't
I've got.
remember.
She runs into one of the other scientists.
Yeah.
I forgot which color now. I didn't write it in my notes though. And they kind of just get to safety rather quickly, and they kind of just watch the kaiju get blown to bits.
Yeah.
And the kaiju design was awesome. It kind of reminded me of like Varan crossed with like a mantis kind of. It had like a lot going
No,
on.
you know, here's an awesome design. I'd say that's the one that's above us right now.
Yeah,
But one of the things I liked about this story was that like the characters were so with very very little setup. We kind of got attached to all these characters, like a lot of the characters.
yeah. I
Uh,
thought the funny one of these characters was the pink one, and I think his name was Wilson Frank. I believe his name was, and I feel like he had like the crooked
oh,
nose.
you
So
know, it was 100% Owen Wilson.
yes,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that why he's got the Wilson? I think he modeled him after Owen Wilson.
Oh, you know, it was like 100% Owen Wilson. Even if it wasn't intentional, it's Owen Wilson.
I really would have loved if he would have gave a wow when she gave the story about getting her arm bit off by. Wow.
So at the end of the comic book, they show like concept art and stuff like that. So we know she's going to be in the team with Kim, and she has like a bionic arm now.
Oh yeah.
It's not teased at the end of this issue though.
No.
So
Yeah.
I guess it's going to be in issue 4. We're going to see like what's going on with that.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, and then the next story, which is the long jump, sets up our next character, and I feel like she's gonna be like the number 2 on the team. Like I feel like she's gonna be like the Raphael.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She. If you read the post notes, she's set up to be super similar to Kim, to the point where they can either be best friends or absolutely hate each other because of the competition. Like
She
they're rivals
is the
almost.
peacemaker.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She does exactly what I do.
But better.
So
Well, we don't really get to see her in action yet, but let's get into that. This
yeah.
long jump story. We have our long jumper Daria above us. It opens up. She's training, and they're like, "Oh, you just broke a record. You just broke an Olympic record." And she's just training, and then she's in the gym on a treadmill. And the news report of when Kim first appeared to defeat that kaiju back from issue 1.
Yeah, it was back in issue 1.
All the way back in issue 1 comes up on screen, and she's training for the Olympics, and she gets like pissed and throws her bottle at the screen.
Yeah,
and
because
they're like,
if somebody can literally jump as high as a building, how is she going to say that she's a world record long jump holder?
yes,
Like how could you even?
yeah,
She said so. The Olympics are pointless now.
yeah. They're like, oh, they go. I guess the Olympics are canceled, and then she kind of like goes on like a bender and just is like hitting clubs, drinking, doing drugs.
Yeah, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. She's living a hard.
Literally getting
And
tattoos.
she had like nice, colorful flower tattoos. She's like all blacked out tats
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
chest piece, everything.
Yeah, yeah. She covered up her right arm with all black now. Honestly, if you really notice at the back, I'm assuming it's probably just because it's easy to draw. Ross is like, I went way overboard with the tattoo concepts on this character because it's a lot of tattoos to draw every issue, even with Kim. And after this whole bender and everything, she wakes up the next morning and there's just like complete chaos. There's a kaiju attack going on. The woman's like, "Oh, help! My daughter's trapped in the building," and there's this huge like gorge that she has to jump over. And then some guy's like, "Hey, you're that Olympic jumper," and he's like, "You could go help her." And basically, she makes him pick up this board, and she's like, "You better hold that thing steady." So she runs, makes the jump, gets the kid, and jumps back, gets the kid to her mom, but she doesn't make it and falls and suffers an injury. Cuts to the hospital. She wakes up. She goes to pull out her leads and everything to get out of the bed. She falls to the floor. She lost both her legs. So Olympic long jumper with no more legs kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So she's in a wheelchair, all depressed. She's sitting in front of railroad tracks, about to like roll out to get run over by the train, and this Doctor Demikov shows up and is like, "You're a coward," or what did she? Yeah, she called her a coward, I
Yeah.
believe. And she's like, "What's it to you?" And pretty much, she informs her that she could be better and do better, and gives her her legs back because of kaiju regenerative abilities. So she's gonna be like the next Kim Corrigan, because it's assumed, well, not assumed, we know Kim has kaiju DNA in her.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be right up there with Kim.
Yeah, no. So it's going to be I'm like really excited to see where this goes. Like
Yeah.
it's setting up so much. There's a fourth character that still hasn't been shown, at least as far
Yes.
as I remember.
Yeah, they show that like pin up picture in the back
Yeah.
with the fourth character.
But like we have a lot going on now. We have the Madrid series, so we know that they're still fighting in Madrid with Kim, and she's in charge of like a team of regular soldiers. Um, we know what they have, the hive mind from issue 2 that they're gonna have to contend with. So that kaiju's kind of starting to slow take over humanity through pharmaceuticals. And we still just have these random kaiju attacks going on. So they're like really building up with this now, where it's like, yes, I know issue 4 is like the final issue of Stomped, but we already know that they're doing a sequel series, and like I think that could be like a long series, like if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I know he's working on Spandex a lot, which is
Oh
his
man,
webtoon series.
have you read? It's really good.
No, I
If you
haven't
haven't
had
read it,
time. I honestly haven't had time to read
they're
anything.
so easy to read.
But yeah, because they're
Um,
webtoons, so it's
yeah,
short form.
they're short, but they're also pretty long. I'd say they run about as long,
Really?
if not longer, than the stories in each of these stomped
Yeah.
um
Well, some of these are very quick
issues. Yeah.
reads, like this series long this story Long Jump was a very visual story.
Yes.
There wasn't as
Yes.
much talking, there wasn't as much explanation or setup. It was more just like you're watching it happen.
Yes. You watched her life unfold.
Yeah. um so you can spend as much time on that as you wanted, or as little time. You can literally like swipe through the pages, or you can literally like spend time analyzing each piece
Yeah.
of that and seeing like what was going on throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, there really is a lot of detail that goes into all these stories. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely take your time to look. But yeah, you could blow through it if you wanted.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And
No.
just still know what's going on.
Yeah. No. But it's a very detailed drawing.
Yeah.
Um.
And then the final story is Wake by Ross, and the line art was done by Joshua Green. Um, it's a little like, it wasn't really a PSA style one, but it was like, it looked like the evolved version, the fully developed version of the parasite from the first story in this, Eye for an Eye, that bit the pink guy's leg off. But it was this huge kaiju just ravaging the city, and it has like these intestinal tendrils coming down. It was a really cool like parasitic kaiju design. Looks like Super Dark Days, and basically follows like these rescue workers. This one's a super short read,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much this dude rescue worker pulls a kid out of rubble at the end, and he gets like a bunch of rubble falls on him, and his like face is all beat up. But it was a really cool little short story,
Yeah. No.
and the
It
monster
was.
design is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. The design on it was like, it was like nothing I've seen before. It was very
Yeah,
strange looking kaiju,
yeah, but it was like it was
like
very
yellow
different.
and puffy and
Yeah,
like kind of insecty, but not really.
yeah, that's why it reminded me of the parasite from Eye for an Eye a lot, because it's the same color scheme, and it had like sort of like a parasitic tendrily thing going on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that kind of wraps up Stomped issue 3, and there was a lot more in the concept art. Like
Yeah.
if you like look to see like how many times like there was like a revision on the design of Daria,
Yes. Oh
and
boy.
like kind of like the like in the pinup art, like the teases for what was to come. And then we got like a bunch of kaiju designs that weren't used in this issue.
Oh,
So
it's one of my favorite things about this is the little actually you see
yeah,
the
the amount of extras that they include.
yeah you see all the work that goes into it and concepts and it's really cool. I'm super excited for the fourth issue and I can't wait to see where it goes from there on out. But if you want to fill in some time, read Spandex as well because that's been excellent too. And he even did a little Power Ranger reference in the previous webtoon for Spandex. They had Botfly when he was before he became a superhero. He was wearing a yellow Power Ranger T-shirt. I was like, oh, I saw that. You didn't think I would, but I did. It was just a yellow shirt with the white diamond in the middle and then the white triangles. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
blatantly Power Rangers, but you know, if
close
you know, you
enough.
know.
Yeah.